Speaking of which, here's Mark Antony. Welcome.
Brutus, Cassius. It is me. There is no time as good as this hour of Caesar's death, and no weapon better than your swords, covered with the noblest blood in the world. I ask you, if you have a grudge against me, to kill me now, while your stained hands still reek of blood. I could live 1,000 years, and I wouldn't be as ready to die as I am now. There's no place I'd rather die than here by Caesar, and no manner of death would please me more than being stabbed by you, the master of this new era. So stab me now.
Oh, Antony, don't beg us to kill you. Though we seem bloody and cruel right now, with our bloody hands and this deed we've done, you can only see our hands and their bloody businesses. You have not looked into our hearts. They are full of pity for Caesar, but a strong pity for wrongs committed against Rome drove us out of our pity for Caesar, as fire drives out fire, and so we killed him. For you, our swords have blunt edges, too dull to harm you, Mark Antony. Our arms, which could be strong and cruel, and our hearts filled with brotherly love, embrace you with our kind, good thoughts of reverence.
Your vote will be as strong as anyone's in the reordering of the government.
But just be patient until we've calmed the masses. Who are we besides themselves with fear? Then we'll explain to you why I, who love Caesar, even though while I stabbed, have taken this course of action.
I don't doubt your wisdom, each of you. Give me your bloody hand. Brutus, Cassius, Tribonius, Decius, Metellus, Cinna, and Casca. At last you are all gentlemen. What can I say? You can take me for a coward or a flatterer. In either case, my credibility stands on slippery grounds. It's true that I loved you, Caesar. Nothing could be truer. If your spirit is looking down upon us now, it must hurt you more than ever that to see your friend Antony making peace, shaking the bloody hands of your enemies in front of your corpse. If I had as many eyes as you have wounds, and they wept as fast as your wounds streamed blood, even that would be more coming than joining your enemies in your friendship. Forgive me, Julius. On this very spot you were hunted down like a brave deer, and here you fell, where your hunters are now standing. The spot is marked by your death and stained by your blood. O world, you were the forest to this deer, and this deer, O world, you were the deer. Now you lie here stabbed by many princesses.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Cassius. Even Caesar's enemies would say the same.
I don't blame you for praising Caesar, but what agreement do you tend to reach with us? Will you be counted as our friend, or should we proceed without depending on you?
I took your hands in friendship, but indeed I was distracted when I looked down at Caesar. I am friends with you all and love you all, on one condition. You let me carry his body to the marketplace, and as a friend ought to do, stand on the platform and give a proper funeral.
You may, Mark Antony.
Brutus, Ord. You don't know what you're doing. Don't let Antony speak at the funeral. Don't you know how much the people could be affected by what he says?
With your permission, I'll stand on the platform first and explain the reason for Caesar's death. What Antony says, I'll announce. He says, only by our permission and by our conviction, that Caesar should be honored with all the usual and lawful ceremonies.
I'm worried about the outcome of the speech. I don't like this plan.
It'll help us more than hurt us. Mark Antony, you may speak at Julius Caesar's funeral. Do not blame us, but only say good.
I ask nothing more.
Bring the body, and come with us.
Oh, pardon me, you bleeding corpse, for speaking politely and acting mildly with these butchers. You are what is left of the noblest man that ever lived. Pity the hand that shed this valuable blood over your wounds, which like speechless mouths open their red lips as though to beg you to speak. I predict that a curse will fall upon the bodies of men. Fierce civil war will paralyze all of Italy. Blood, destruction, will be so common and familiar that mothers will merely smile when their infants are cut to pieces by the hands of war. People's capacity for sympathy will grow tired and weak from the sheer quality of cruel deeds. And Caesar's ghost, searching for revenge, with the goddess aid by his side, just up from hell, will cry in the voice of a king, Hovac, and unleash the dogs of war. This foul deed will stink up the sky with men's corpses, which will beg to be buried.
but here's Mark Anthony.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
It's... You're such a mess up!
Do not even want me to say pleasure to you. I'll just say
No,
pleasure.
don't worry. Alright, stop it.
I don't doubt your wisdom. Each of you, give me your bloody hands. Cassius.
Your both. I need to see if I can see the paper. Sit up.
You want me to take this out?
I don't like you guys.
All right, go down.
Get down!
Hold up. Honey, fix my hair.
Mark Anthony.
Oh my god.
You don't know what you're doing. Don't let Anthony see the funeral.
Oh my gosh.
Toes.
Really?
Okay, I'm done.
Bye, Toes.
So kill me now. I can't be dead.
Kill me now.
No.
This is
You're doing it wrong.
So kill me now!
Oh, pardon me, you bleeding corpse.
Sorry, that's my phone.